Hello and welcome to all you Librans. Welcome for your monthly horoscope for you Librans for March 2015. And it's one of those months of the year that is one of the most dynamic months, I would say. And it's one of those months where there is a lot of activity. There is an eclipse, there is Mercury doing lots of things, and the Pluto-Uranus square as well, which is very, very important as well for you Librans. But let's get started with the eclipse. And this is happening in your 6th house, house of your day-to-day life, your la vie quotidienne. This is your maybe your job, or for some people it's your health. It's how you organize yourself on a day-to-day basis. So it's a very practical house, you could say. And there are endings and new beginnings going on with that 6th house, which is reflected in the eclipse. The eclipse happens around the 20th of the month, and eclipses always mean, so it's the sun and the moon together in Pisces at 29 degrees. So it always means there is something new starting there. Are you starting with a new job? Are you starting with a new, I don't know, diet? Or are you starting with some new things that are going to improve your health? Are you starting to have a new routine every day that improves your physical but also mental health? This is all possible for you Librans. And it's a very positive eclipse, so I always read the astrologer whose name is Bernadette Brady. She has done this enormous investigation and research of eclipses, and eclipses belong to Saros families, and I have made a video about that as well, and we'll put the link below if you are not familiar with that, and if you want to know more. But this eclipse has always a flavor, and this one is a very positive one. So let's read just 2 lines here. The eclipse, she writes, is good news concerning relationships or creative group projects with sudden success, plus a potential for happiness in love. Now, we have to relate this to you, Librans, so, and to your 6th house where this is all happening. So this energy, this positive energy, you could say, of happiness, of liking what you're doing, of maybe new relationships with groups of people, projects, maybe with colleagues, because again, it's 6th house, which is the house of work. All of this can have sudden success. So after maybe a lot of effort done when it comes to a new project, when it comes to work that you've been doing, but also maybe it relates to a certain job that you have done, and now it culminates and it has ended and it has given you a fresh new start, because it's that meaning of eclipses, endings and new starts. At the same time, Mercury is in that house, and Mercury has been having the aspect of Saturn and Neptune, and its result, especially after the Neptune transiting Mercury there in your 6th house, the result is clearness, is understanding, is facts, is black on white, that you know what is happening with you. So around the 18th, 19th, 20th, there is some clarity coming in for you after a period of unclarity, maybe about your health, maybe about your work, maybe about your pets, because the 6th house is also pets. I seem to forget that every time. It's probably because I don't have one. But I may not take myself as a standard, can I? Now, whatever it is, Mercury together with Neptune is very confusing energy. Now the confusion is there in order for you to give the clarity afterwards. So it's only when the transit ends that the clarity comes, and that is around that time that I just mentioned. So look out for some breakthroughs, considering health, considering work. It's going to be really interesting for you Librans, and that you will say, oh, but why haven't I been seeing that? Maybe unconsciously or maybe consciously as well, you know, closing your eyes. We all do that sometimes, don't we? Just closing our eyes if we see something that we don't want to see. But now is the time that you will, and you will have more ability to act because there is so much clarity there. Now, last but not least, the Pluto-Uranus square. It's the last time that they're squaring up to each other in an exact degree. It's on 15 degrees. Now, for you Librans who have a birthday around, so all you Librans will feel that, but mostly the ones who have a birthday around, let's say, the 7th, the 8th and 9th, especially the 9th, the 10th of October. So those are the Librans who are really having this Uranus-Pluto square, getting exact now, but also having 3 other planets stimulating this aspect. So 3 other planets, first Venus, then Mars, then the Sun, are all in Aries, in your opposite sign of relationships. So there are culminations there. Pluto and Uranus is all about waking up. It's all about not putting your head into the sand. And this is about facing the things that you might rather not face, but that you're going to do anyway. Because if you're not, it's going to be very confrontational. And you Librans don't like confrontation. So the best thing to do this is to be very aware of what is happening with you versus your relationships. Now, there can be different scenarios. Maybe you are single for a long time and you've had, this is the energy of I've had it. So maybe if you are in the context of I'm single, maybe you say I've had it now. I want a relationship and I'm going to do things, and chances are very, very high that you're going to meet someone new, and it's going to be very fiery and very passionate. Other scenario is that you're having very much struggles and a very bad relationship and you're thinking about breaking up for a long time, but you never had the courage. Now, this is an aspect that gives you courage to, you know, to go through the pain, and but after that comes the liberation as well. If you're having a relatively good relationship, so with its normal ups and downs, then this can mean that you are going to do different things with your loved one, that you are going to do things together more in a fresh way. So I had a client the other day who is also a Libran ascendant, and she was around her 50s, and she was with her lover. She was going abroad and starting a new business there. Okay, she had the expertise already, but so it's doing something very new together with your loved one that you've been dreaming on for a long time. It doesn't have to be like in this example so big. It can be a small thing. It can be like, look, we need to do some things that we enjoy ourselves. You know, Venus is in there, Mars is in there, the Sun is in there. So it's going to be very lively for your Librans when it comes to relationships in general. And for you, relationships are very important, especially with all that emphasis in the 7th house. So that was it. A very interesting and a very important month as well, you Librans. And with all of that, especially for those Librans around the 9th of October, there's also a lot happening inside Pluto on your in your 4th house. So what happens in the relationships has consequences for maybe where you live or for your home life as well, and maybe that can change you totally. So a very important month, the month of March. I wish you all the best. Have a very good month. Have a very, very interesting and good month. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next month. Bye-bye.